I love Pokemon. I really do, even at 23. I first discovered the series through the anime, and from there it became a long-running part of my life. I've played most of the mainline games, a bunch of the spin-offs, and they helped spark my love for adventure RPGs alongside Dragon Quest. It would be a sweet story, if not for one thing. During the Switch era, I started noticing a decline. Complacency. Worlds that felt emptier. Stories that never seemed to evolve. Pokemon was never known for deep storytelling, but at least titles like Black and White tried something more ambitious. So, in a last attempt to find a Pokemon experience that could really hook me again, I turned to fan games. And that's where I found some incredible projects. Vanguard, Uranium, Insurgence, Reborn, and Rejuvenation. And today, I want to talk about Pokemon Rejuvenation. To understand why Rejuvenation stands out so much, you have to look at how it was created. The project began as a personal passion effort by its main developer Jan, who originally set out to make a game inspired by Pokemon Reborn. What started as a small experiment quickly grew into something far more ambitious. Rejuvenation first released in a very early form years ago, but instead of stopping there, Jan kept rebuilding and expanding it. New characters, new regions, new story arcs, new mechanics. Every version became larger, more polished, and more confident in what it wanted to be. It wasn't just mimicking the structure of fan games from that era, it was trying to push the limits of what a Pokemon narrative could feel like. Over time, more people joined the team. Artists, writers, coders, composers, and testers. Each update added new areas, new animations, voice work, redesigned sprites, and reworked story beats. The project turned into a long, ongoing collaboration that blended Jan's vision with the contributions of many talented fans. What makes Rejuvenation's development special is that it never settled. It kept evolving. The dev team didn't just patch things, they rewrote entire arcs, replaced early sections, and polished the game again and again until it matched the emotional weight they were aiming for. Today, Rejuvenation stands as one of the largest and most narratively complex Pokemon fan games ever made. And all of it exists because a small group of fans refused to accept the idea that a Pokemon story had to be simple. Chapter 1. The Beginning. On the SS Oceania. The game starts by letting you choose your character. You can either pick directly or take a personality test to generate your protagonist. Next, the game asks for a password. This password can give you powerful bonuses, like maxed IVs for your Pokemon or key items such as a portable PC or an aromatisse to change Pokemon natures. These options exist because Rejuvenation is brutally difficult, and the developers give you tools to build a competitive team if you want. After that, you pick your difficulty level, Story Mode or Normal Mode. The last one is for those who truly enjoy suffering. Then the game asks if you want to start with the prologue or jump straight into the main story. The prologue contains important plot twists, so I won't spoil it here. If you skip it, you begin on the SS Oceania, completing your EVM League registration and learning basic info about the region. Outside the registration office, you see your mother, who introduces you to the relationship system, a core mechanic where your choices influence how characters react to you. She then directs you to talk to the boat captain, who explains that Evium is an archipelago devastated long ago by Storm 9, and that the League has 18 badges, not just 8. Very quickly, it's clear, you're here for the long haul. After this exposition, you can explore the ship freely or start the banquet celebrating the end of the voyage. The banquet is abruptly interrupted by Team Zen grunts, who attempt to take the ship and capture the passengers. When the grunts threaten to make the boat explode, your mother calls on Crescent, who teleports you to safety with her Pokemon. After a brief white screen, you wake on a burning ship, where passengers are being kidnapped by a mysterious force, possibly Deoxys. Returning to the banquet room, you encounter the piano lady and the boat captain, who explain that your mother is trapped in a hole fighting Team Zen. Logically, you jump in to help and find her battling one of Team Zen's admins. You end up finding her in a room, facing a Team Zen admin that reveal that they are here to capture you and your mother. She sacrifices herself to buy time, but the danger is far from over. Just when all seems lost, a Talonflame swoops in and rescues you, taking you to Oceana Pier. There, you meet Tesla von Brandt, who asks what happened. After you explain, she asks you what you're planning to do, and you tell her you're going to head to East Giran City and the Giran Laboratory to choose your first Pokémon, officially beginning your journey in Evium. After arriving at the Giran Laboratory, the protagonist meets Amanda, a League Scout, who directs them to see Professor Jenner to receive their first Pokémon. At the entrance to Jenner's office, you bump into a blonde-haired girl, later revealed to be Melia, though her role will unfold more as the story progresses. Finally, you meet Professor Jenner, who is surprised to see you. After some brief exposition, he gives you a choice among all the starter Pokémon from generations 1 through 8, allowing you to select whichever starter you've never had the chance to use before. Once your starter is chosen, you face Amanda in battle. After defeating Amanda, you return to Professor Jenner and encounter Ren, another trainer who works for the professor. After a quick battle against him, Jenner gives you a critical task: find his daughter, Melia, the blonde girl you saw earlier. This sets you on the path for your first major story objective, linking exploration, battles, and character interaction seamlessly. While exploring East Giran City, the protagonist has their first battle against a random trainer, which introduces field effects, one of Rejuvenation's core combat mechanics. If you've played Pokémon Reborn, this system will feel familiar. Field effects are environmental conditions in battle that can boost or weaken Pokémon, moves, or stats, adding a strategic layer to every encounter. After wandering through the city, the protagonist arrives at a purple house, where a loud argument catches their attention. Suddenly, one of the people is blasted through the roof. Investigating, the protagonist meets a young girl, who asks for help fetching a Pecha Berry to fulfill her last wish. At the merchant, the protagonist learns that the girl is well known locally. The merchant gives a special berry, which the protagonist delivers to the girl. Upon eating it, flames burst from her mouth. Turns out the berry was filled with wasabi. Rather than being upset, the girl laughs and introduces herself as Venom, the East Giran Poison Gym Leader. She invites the protagonist to investigate the abandoned sewers with her friends, teasing the start of one of the first major exploration and side quest sequences in the game. This scene perfectly blends humor, character development, and a taste of Rejuvenation's quirky world, showing how it balances serious and lighthearted moments. In the abandoned sewers, the protagonist reunites with Ren, who turns out to be a friend of Venom. You team up with him to explore the sewers, where your first objective is to repair a malfunctioning generator to help the city. While navigating the tunnels, you encounter Melia, who is already attempting to fix the generator. The source of the problem turns out to be a Garbodor lodged inside, essentially turning the generator into a junk pile. To protect Melia, you join forces with Ren to battle the Garbodor. This fight introduces the first boss Pokémon, a special encounter with unique mechanics that distinguish it from standard battles. After defeating the Garbodor, Melia completes the generator repair. Venom then invites the protagonist to her Poison-type gym, marking the first major story milestone. Meanwhile, Melia heads toward Giran Park, setting up future plotlines and character interaction. If you enjoyed this introduction to Rejuvenation, make sure to like the video, and maybe next time I'll do a full rundown of the story. Until then, it was Stefu, and have a great day.